fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers. Take their life. Whose this adventure piteous overthrows, and doth with their death bury their parents' strife. The fearful passage of this death-marked love and the continuance of their parents' rage, which, but their children's end naught could remove, is now the 2 hours traffic of our stage, the which, if you with patient ears shall attend, what here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend.
Gregory, on my word, will not carry coals.
No, for then we should be colliers.
I mean, and we be in collar will draw.
I, while you live, draw your neck out of your collar.
I strike quickly, being moved.
But thou art not quickly moved to strike.
A dog of the house of Montague moves me.
To move is to stir, and to be valiant is to stand.
A dog of that house moves me to stand. I will show myself a tyrant. When I have fought the men, I will be civil with the maids. I will cut off their heads.
The heads of the maids.
The heads of the maids or their maiden heads. Take it in what sense thou wilt.
They must take it in since they feel it.
Me they shall feel when I am able to stand, and 'tis known I am a pretty piece of flesh.
'Tis thou art not fish. If thou hast been poor John. Try thy tool. Here comes the house of Montagues.
My naked weapon is out. Quarrel, I will back thee.
How? Turn thy back and run?
Fear me not.
No, Mary, I fear thee.
Let us take the law of our side. Let them begin.
I will frown as they pass by, and let them take it as they list.
Nay, as they dare, I will bite my thumb at them, which is a disgrace to them if they dare.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
I bite my thumb, sir.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
Is the law of our side, if I say I?
No.
No, sir, I do not bite my thumb at you, sir, but I bite my thumb, sir.
Do you quarrel, sir?
Quarrel, sir? No, sir.
But if you do, sir, I am for you. I serve as good a man as you.
No better.
Well, sir?
Say, here comes one of my master's cases.
Yes, better, sir.
You lie.
Draw, if you be men. Gregory, remember thy washing blows.
Hard fools! Put up your swords. You know not what you do.
What art thou drawn amongst these heartless hinds? Turn thee, Benvolio, and look upon thy death.
I do but keep the peace. Put up your sword, or manage it to part these men with me.
What drawn and talk of peace? I hate the word as I hate all hell Montagues and thee. Have at thee, coward.
Well, Bills, partisans, strike! Beat them down! Down with the Capulets! Down with the Montagues!
What noise is this? Fetch me my longsword. Oh,
A crutch! Why call you for a sword?
old Montague is come, and flourishes his blade in spite of me.
Now, villain, can't you live? Hold me back! Let me go!
Thou shalt not stir on foot to foe.
Rebellious subjects, enemies of peace, profaners of his neighbor's staying still. Will they not hear what? Oh, you men, you beasts, that quench the fire, your pernicious rage, with purple fountains issuing from your veins, on pain, on death from those bloody hands, drop your mistempered weapons to the ground, and hear a sentence from your new prince. Greed, civil brawls, bred by an airy word, by thee, all Capulet and Montague, have tried to serve the peace on the streets, and make their own ancestors casting their great deceived ornaments, wield an old parson, hands of old, canker with peace, part with cankered hate. You ever disturb the peace on the streets again, your lives shall take the responsibility for peace, and at once all the rest shall depart away. Come, Capulet, go along with me this afternoon. And you, Montague, come you this afternoon. You know our further interest in this case, the free town, our common judgment place. Once more, on pain on death, the men depart away.
Who said this ancient quarrel knew a broach? Speak, nephew. Where were you by when it began?
Here was the servants of your adversary, and yours close by in ere I did approach. I drew to part them. In the instant came the fiery Tybalt with sword prepared, which
is augmenting the fresh morning dew, adding to clouds, more clouds with his deep sighs. But also soon as the all-cheering sun should in the farthest east begin to draw the curtains of Aurora's bed. Away from light steals home my heavy son. Private in his chambers ends himself. Draws his windows, shuts them up, shuts fair daylight out, and makes himself an artificial night. Black and portentous must his humor prove, unless good counsel the cause may remove.
My noble uncle, do you know the cause?
I neither know it nor can learn of him.
Have you importuned him by any means?
Both by myself and with many other friends. But he, his own affections counsel him. He is, I will not say how true, but he is so secret and so close, so far from discovery. As is a bud bit by an envious worm, he could spread his sweet leaves to the air, or dedicate his beauty to the same. Could we but whence learn from whence his sorrows grow, we would as willingly give cure as to know.
See where he comes. So please you, step aside. I'll know his grievance, or be much denied.
I would thou wert so happy by thy stay to hear true shrift. Come, madam, let's away.
Good morrow, cousin.
Is the day so young?
But new struck night.
To me, sad hours seem long. Is that my father that went hence so fast?
It was. What sadness lengthens Romeo's hours?
Not having that which having makes them short.
In love?
Out.
Of love?
Out of her favor where I am in love.
Alas, that love, so gentle in his view, should be so tyrannous and rough and cruel.
Alas, that love, whose view is muffled still, should, without eyes, seek pathways to his will. Where shall we dine? Oh, me. What frame is here? Yet tell me not, for I have heard it all. Here's much to do with hate, but more with love. Why then, O brawling love, O loving hate, O anything of nothing first create. Heavy lightning, serious damage, shaking chaos, well-seen form. Feather of lead, bright smoke, cold fire, sick health, still waking sleep. That is not what it is. This love feel I that feel no love in this. Dost thou not laugh?
No, cause I rather weep.
Good heart, and what?
At thy good heart's expression.
Why, such is love's transgression. Griefs of mine own lie heavy in my breast, which thou wilt propagate to have it pressed more of thine. This love that thou hast shown doth add more grief to too much of mine own. Love is a smoke, hate, sigh, deep urge, a fire sparkling in lover's eyes, being vexed, a sea dervish with loving tears. What is it else? A madness most discreet, a choking gall and a preserving sweet. Farewell, my cubs.
No, I will go along, and if you leave me so that you can wrong.
Tut, I have lost myself. I am no longer here. This is not Romeo. He's some other where.
Tell me exactly. Who is it that you love?
What, shall I groan and tell thee?
Groan, I know. But sadly, tell me who.
A sick man in sadness makes his will, a word ill-urged to one that is so ill. In sadness, cousin, I do love a woman,
I aim so near when I suppose you love.
a right good marksman. And she's fair, I love.
A right fair mark, fair cuz, as soon as hit.
Well, that hit you miss. She'll not be hit with Cupid's arrows. She hath Diane's wit, and in strong proof of chastity well armed. From love's weak childish bow she lives uncharmed. She'll not stay the siege of loving curves, nor bide the encounter of assailing eyes, nor ope her lap to saint seducing gold. Oh, she is rich in beauty, only poor, that when she dies, with beauty dies her store.
Then she hath sworn that she will still live chaste.
She hath, and in that sparing makes huge waste. For beauty starved with her severity, cuts beauty off from all posterity. She is too fair, too wise, wisely too fair to merit bliss by making me despair. She hath forsworn to love, and in that vow do I live dead that live to tell it now.
Be ruled by me. Forget to think of her.
Oh, teach me how I should forget to think.
By giving liberty to thine eyes. Examine other beauties.
'Tis the way to call hers exquisite when you question more. These happy masks that kiss fair ladies' brows, being black puts us in mind they hide the fair. He who is struck and blind cannot forget the precious treasure of his eyesight lost. Show me a mistress who is passing fair, where doth of beauty serve but as a note, or I may read who passed that passing fair. Farewell. Thou canst not teach me to forget.
I'll pay that doctrine or else die in debt.
The Montagues bound, as well as I, amity alike. And 'tis not hard, I think, for men so old as we to keep the peace.
Oh, honorable reckoning are you both. A pity it is you stayed on so long. But now, my lord, what sayest you, my son?
Saying over what I have said before, my child is but a stranger in the world. She hath not seen the change of 14 years. Let 2 more summers wither in their pride, ere we may think her ripe to be a bride.
That younger than she, our happy mother's maid.
And too soon marred are those so early made. The earth has swallowed all my hopes but she. She's the hopeful lady of my earth. But woo her, gentle Paris, win her heart. My will to her consent is but a part. And she agreed, within her scope of choice lies my consent and fair according voice. This night I hold an old accustomed feast, whereto I have invited many a guest, such as I love, and you among the store, one more most welcome, makes my number more. And my poor house, behold this night, breath-treading stars that make dark heaven light. Such comfort as do lusty young men feel when well pair of April on the heel of limping winter treads. Even such delight among fresh fennel buds shall you at this night inherit at my house. Hear all see, and like her most whose merit most shall be, which on more view of many mine being one, shall stand in number, till in record. Now, come, go with me. Go, Sora, trudge about through fair Verona, find those persons out whose names are written there, and to them say, my house and welcome, on their pleasure stay.
I am sent to find out whose names are here writ. It is written that the shoemaker should meddle with his yard, and the tailor with his last, the fisher with his pencil, and the painter with his nets. But I am sent to find out whose names are here writ. I must have learned in good time.
Man, one's fire burns out another's burning. One's pain is lessened with another's anguish. Turn giddy and be helped by backwards turning. One's desperate grief is cured with another's language. Take new infection into thine eye, and the rank poison of the old will die.
Your plantain leaf is excellent for that.
For what, I pray thee?
For your broken shin.
Why, Romeo, art thou mad?
Not mad, but bound more than a madman is. Shut up in prison, kept without my food, whipped and tormented. Good evening, good fellow.
Gagi, I pray, sir, can you read?
I, my known fortune and my misery.
Perhaps you'll learn without books, but I pray, can you read anything you see?
I, if I know the letters in the language.
You say honestly, Mr. Marion.
Say, fellow, I can. Signor Martineau and his wife and daughters, County Anselm and his beauteous sisters, the lady widow of Vertruvius, Signor Placencio and his lovely nieces, Mercutio and his brother Valentine, mine uncle Capulet, his wife and daughters, my fair niece Rosamond, Livia, Signor Valencio and his cousin Tybalt, Lucio and the lively Helena. A fair assembly. Whither should they come?
Ah,
Whither? To supper?
to our house,
Whose house?
my master's.
Indeed, I should have asked thee that before.
I will tell you without asking that my master is the great rich Capulet, and if you be not of the house of Montague, I pray, come and crush a cup of wine. Rest you merry.
At the same ancient counselor, so fair Rosaline who thou so lovest, with all the other admired beauties of Verona. Go thither, and with unattained eye compare her face with some that I shall show, and I will make thee think that thy swan a crow.
When the devout religion of mine eye maintains such falsehood, then turn tears to fire, and these who often drown can never die. Transparent heretics be burnt for lives. One fairer than I love. The all-seeing sun ne'er saw her match since first the world begun.
You saw her fair, none else being by, herself poised with herself, and either eye, but in that crystal scale let it be weighed, sure that is love, against some other maid
such sight to be shown, but to rejoice in the splendor of mine own.
Nurse, where is my daughter? Bring her forth to me.
Hey, by my maidenhead, at 12-year-old, I bade her come. What Juliet? What ladybird? Oh, God forbid, where is she? Juliet!
How now? Who calls?
Your mother?
Madam, I am here. What is your will?
This is the matter. Nurse, give leave a while. We must talk in secret. Nurse, come back again. I've remembered me. Thou hearest our counsel. Thou knowest my daughter is of a golden age.
Faith, I can tell her age unto an hour.
She's not 14.
Nay, but I can lay my 14 teeth. He has spoken to my teen, I only am but 4, that she's not 14. When now is Lammastide?
Fortnight and odd days.
Even or odd, of all the days of the year, come Lammas Eve at night, shall she be 14. Susan and she, God rest all Christian souls, were of an age. Susan is with God now. She was too good for me. But, as I said, come Lammas Eve at night, shall she be 14. That shall she. I remember it well. 'Tis since the earthquake, now 11 years. She was weaned. I'll never forget it. For all the days of the year upon that day. For I had then laid some wormwood to my dog. And sitting in the sun under the dove house wall, my lord and you were in Mantua at the time. But, as I said, once it tasted the wormwood around the nipple of my dove, well, it got all touchy and fell out with the dog. Well, shake, quoth the dove house wall. Shake! Why need I trow to bid me trudge? And since then, it's been 11 years. Then she could stand high-low. By my rood, she could run and she could waddle all about. Oh, goodness. Why, the day before, she broke her brow. Then my husband, oh, God be with his soul, he was a merry man. He took up the child. Yea, quoth he, did thou fallest upon thy face? Thou wilt fall backwards when thou hast more wit, will thou not, Jewel? By my holy dam, she stinted and said I. To see now how a jest is started. Wilt thou fall upon thy face? Quoth he, and the pretty fool stinted and said I.
Enough of this, I pray thee. Hold thy peace.
Yes, madam, but I cannot choose but to laugh. To think how it got all touchy and left crying and said I. And yet on its brow was a bump as big as a young cockerel stone. Oh, hideous knock. It cried bitterly. Yea, quoth my husband, did thou fallest upon thy face? Thou wilt fall backwards when thou comest of age, will thou not, Jewel? Instinted and said I.
And stint thou too, I pray thee, nurse, say I.
I am done. God has marked thee with his grace. Thou wast the prettiest babe I e'er did nurse. And now I get to see thee married once. I have my wish. Ooh.
Mary, that is the very theme I came to speak of. Tell me, daughter Juliet, how stands your disposition to be married?
Well, it is an honor that I dream not of.
An honor? Were not I thine only nurse, I would think thou hadst sucked some wisdom from my teeth. Ah!
Take marriage now, younger than you, here in Verona, ladies of esteem, are made mothers already. By my count, I was your mother, much upon these days that you are now a maid. Thus then in brief, the noble Paris seeks you for his love.
Man, my lady, such a man as all the world. A man of wax. Oh!
Oh, Verona's summer hath not such a flower.
Nay, he's a flower. If faith a very flower.
What say you? This night you shall behold him at our feast. Read o'er the volumes of young Paris's face, and find delight writ there with beauty's pen. And examine every merry lineament, and see how one another lends content. And what obscure in this fair volume lies, find written in the margin of his eyes, that precious book of love, this unbound lover, to beautify him, only lacks a cover. The fish lives in the sea, and 'tis much pride, for fair without, but fair within to hide. This book in many eyes doth share the glory, that in gold clasp locks in the golden story. So you shall share in all that he doth possess, by having him, making yourself no less.
No less. Nay, bigger. Women grow by men.
Speak briefly. Can you like of Paris's love?
I'll look to like if looking liking new, but no more deep will I endart mine eye than your consent gives strength to make it fly.
Oh, madam. The guests are come, supper served up. Called, a young lady asked for. The nurse, cursed in the pantry, and everything in extremity. I must hence to wait. I beseech you, follow me.
We follow thee. Juliet, the county stay.
Go, girl. Seek happy nights to happy days.
What shall this speech be spoke for our excuse? Or shall we on without apology?
The date is set at such felicity. We'll have no cupid clothes like stars, wearing a tartar piece bow of black, scaring the ladies as he spoke. No nor without book prologue that faintly spoke after the costume were. We'll let them measure us by what they will, and then we'll measure them a measure, and be gone.
Give me a torch. I'm not for this ambling. Being but heavy, I will bear the light.
Nay, gentle Romeo, we must have you dance.
Not I, believe me. You have dancing shoes with nimble soles. I have a soul of lead, so stakes me to the ground I cannot move.
You are the borrowed Cupid's wings and soar with them above the common bound.
I am too sore and pierced with his shaft to soar with his light feathers, and so bound I cannot bound a pitch above dull woe. Under love's heavy burden do I sink.
And to sink in it should you burden love. Too great oppression for a tender thing.
Is love a tender thing? It is too rough, too rude, too boisterous. It pricks like thorns.
If love be rough with you, be rough with love. Prick love for pricking and you beat love down. Come, give me a case for my visages, a visor for a visor. What care I what curious eyes have cooked deformities? Here ere the beetle brow shall blush for me.
Come, and no fear in every man be taken to his life.
A torch from me. Let wantons light of heart tickle their senseless brushes with their heels. For I am the proverb with a crancier phrase. I'll be a candle holder and look on. The game was ne'er so fair, and I am done.
Aye, done's the mouth the constable's own word. If thou art done, we'll draw thee from the mire, or save your reverence love, where thou stinkest up the ear. Come, we burn daylight, ho!
Nay, that's not so.
I mean, sir, if the lay we waste our life. In vain, light lights by day. Take our good meaning, for our judgment sits 5 times ere that once in our 5 wits.
And we meet well in going to this mask, but 'tis no wit to go.
Why may one ask?
I dreamt a dream tonight.
And so did I!
Well, what was yours?
The dreamers often lie.
In bed asleep while they do dream things true.
I see Queen Addison with you. She is a very midwife, and she comes in shape no bigger than an agate stone on the forefinger of an alderman. drawn by a team of little Adamite across men's noses as they lie asleep. Her wagon spokes are made of long spinner's legs. Her covers the wings of grasshoppers. Her traces of the smallest spider's web. Her colors is moonshine's watery deep. And their lovers brave as they dream of love. Or courtiers' knees who dream on Kersey's Strait. Or ladies' lips who straight dream on Pixie's dream. Which off the angry mouth with blistered plagues, because their breasts with sweet meats tainted are. Sometimes she driveth o'er a courtier's nose and dreams he's spelling out a suit. Sometimes she comes with a tight pig's tail, tickling the parson's nose as he lies asleep, and dreams he of another benefice. Sometimes she driveth o'er a soldier's neck, and dreams he of cutting foreign throats, of breeches, ambuscados, Spanish waves of hell's 5 fathoms deep, and then anon, drums in his ear at which he starts and wakes, and being thus frighted, swears a prayer or two and sleeps again. This is the very man that plats the maids of horses in the night, and plates bakes the elf locks of foul flooded hair, which once entangled much misfortune bodes. This is the very hag whom maids lie on their backs, that presses them and learns them first to bear, making them women of good carriage. This is she!
Peace, Mercutio, peace. Thou talkst of nothing.
True, I speak of dreams which are the children of an idle brain, begot of nothing but vain fantasy. They are as thin of substance as the air, and as inconstant as the wind, who woos even now the frozen bosom of the north, and being angered puffs away from them, turning his side to the drop south.
The wind you talk of blows us from ourselves. Supper is done and we shall come too late.
I fear too early. For my mind this gives some consequence, yet hanging in the stars shall bitterly begin his fearful date with this night's revels, and expire the term of spies of life closed in my breast by some vile forfeit of untimely death. But he that hath the steerage of my course direct my sail. On, lusty gentlemen.
Where's Podpan that he helps not to take away? He shipped a trencher? He scraped a trencher?
When 2 men shall lie in one or 2 man's hand, get unwashed too, belt.
Away with the joint stool. Remove the coat cover. Look to the plate. Good thou. Save me piece of heart. Thou love me. Let in Stan Grindstone and Nell. Anthony and Podpan.
Hi, boy, ready?
You are called for, asked for, sought for, and looked for in the great chamber.
Cannot be here and there too. Candy boys to this water, and long and old.
Welcome, gentlemen. Ladies that have their toes unplagued with corn will have a bout with you. Aha, my mistresses. Which of you all will now deny to dance? She that makes dainty, she, I'll swear, hath corns. Am I come near you now? Welcome, gentlemen. I have seen the eye identified, and could tell a whispering tale very clear, such as would please. 'Tis gone, 'tis gone, 'tis gone. You are welcome, gentlemen. Come, musicians. A hall, give room, and foot it, girls. More light, you knaves. And turn the tables up, and quench the fire. The room has grown too hot. This unlooked-for sport comes well, for I am past my dancing days. How long is it now since last I was in a mass? Since the nuptial of Lucentio, come Pentecost as quickly as it will, some 25 years, and then I.
What lady is that who doth preach the hand yonder night? Oh, she doth teach the torches to burn bright. The face she hangs upon the cheek of night as a rich jewel beneath the up's ear. Beauty too rich for use for earth too dear. So shows a snowy dove trooping with crows as yonder lady or her fellow chose. With thy measure done, I'll watch her place and stand. Touching hers, make blessed my two hands. My heart loved till now, will swear it in sight, for I ne'er saw true beauty till this night.
This by his voice should be a Montague. What, dares a slave come hither covered with an antic face to clear and scorn at our solemnity? Stop in honor of my king, to strike him dead, I hold it not a sin.
Hi. Now, kinsman, wherefore thou storm so?
Well, this is a Montague, our foe, a villain that is hither come in spite to scorn at our solemnity this night.
Young Romeo, is it?
See that villain Romeo.
Content thee, gentle cuz. Let him alone. He bears him like a portly gentleman. And to say truth, all Verona brags of him to be a virtuous and well-governed youth. Therefore, be patient. Take no note of him. It is my will, the which if thou respect, show a fair presence, and put off these frowns, and ill-beseeming semblance for a feast.
It fits in such a villain is a guest, I will not endure
He
him.
shall be endured. What, goodman boy? I say he shall. Go to. Am I the master here, or you? Go to. Oh, this trick may chance to scathe you. I know what. You must contrary me. Marry, 'tis time. Well said, my hearts. You are a princess. Go. Quieter. More light, more light. I'll make you quiet. What? Surely, my hearts.
Patient perforce with will for color meeting makes my flesh tremble in this different breeding. I will withdraw, but this intrusion shall now seeming sweet convert to bitterest gall.
If I profane with my unworthiest hand this holy shrine, the gentle sin is this: my lips, blushing pilgrims, ready stand to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss.
Good pilgrim, drawn your hand too much, which mannerly motion shows amiss. For saints have hands that pilgrims' hands do touch, and palm to palm is holy palmer's kiss.
Have not saints' lips, holy palmers too?
Aye, pilgrim, lips they must use in prayer.
And dear saint, let lips do what hands do. They pray, grant thou, lest faith turn to despair.
Saints do not move, they grant the prayer sent.
And move not while my prayer's effect I take. Thus, from my lips by thine, my sin is purged.
And have my lips the sin that they have soaked.
Sin from my lips, trespass sweetly urged. Give me my sin again.
You kiss by the book.
Mantle, your mother craves a word with you.
What is her mother?
Mary Bachelor, her mother is the lady of this house, a good and virtuous woman. I nursed her daughter, she taught you withal. Let me tell you, he that can lay hold of her shall have the chink.
Is she a Capulet? Dear Count, my life is my foe's death.
Away, be gone. Sport is at its best.
Aye, so I fear. More is my unrest.
Hey, gentlemen, prepare not to be gone. We have a trifling foolish banquet towards. Is it even so? Why then, I thank you, honest gentlemen. I thank you all. More torches here. Come, let's to bed. Why, my fay, it waxes late. All to my rest.
Come hither, nurse. What is yon gentleman?
That would be the son and heir of old Tibriel.
Now, what's he that now is going out of door?
Mary, I believe that is young Petruchio.
What's he that follows here, that would not dance?
I know not.
Go ask his name. If he be Marian, my grave is like to be my wedding bed.
His name is Romeo and a Montague, the son of your great enemy.
My only love sprung from my only hate. Too early seen, unknown, and known too late. Prodigious birth of love it is to me, that I must love a loathed enemy. even now of one I danced withal.
Anon! Anon! Come, let's away. All the strangers are gone.
Now old desire doth in his deathbed lie, and young affection gapes to be his heir. That fair for which love groaned for and would die, with tender Juliet matched, is now not fair. Now Romeo is beloved and loves again, alike bewitched by the charm of looks. Suppose he must complain to his foe, and she steals love's sweet bait for fearful hook. Being held a foe, he may not breathe such vows that lovers used to swear. And she, as much in love, her means much less, to meet her new beloved anywhere. Passion lends them power. Time means to meet, tempering, extravagant, with extreme sweet.
Can I go forward when my heart is here? Turn back, dull earth, and find thy center out.
Romeo! Oh, my cousin! Romeo! Romeo!
He is wise and all my life, but still I am home to bed.
He ran this way and leapt this orchard wall. Call good Mercutio.
Yea, I'll conjure too. Romeo! Humors! Madman, passion, lover, appear thou in the likeness of a sigh. Speak but one rhyme, I am satisfied. Cry but I me, pronounce but love, and dove. Speak to my gossip Venus, one fair word, one nickname for her purblind son and heir, young Abraham Cupid. He that shot so trim when King Cophetua loved the beggar maid. He heareth not, he stirreth not, he moveth not. David said, I must conjure him. Romeo, I conjure thee, by Rosalind's bright eyes, by her high forehead and scarlet lips, by her fine foot, straight leg, and quivering thigh, and all the demands of their chase of mine. That in thy likeness thou appear to us.
And if he hear thee, thou wilt anger him.
This would not anger him. 'Twould anger him to raise a spear in his mistress' circle, of some strange nature, letting it there stand, till she had laid it and conjured it down. That were some spite. My invocation is fair honest. In his mistress' name I conjure only but to raise him up.
Come, he ran this way to be consorted with the humorous knight. Blind is his love, and best befits the dark.
If love be blind, love cannot hit the mark. Now will he sit under a medlar tree, and wish his maid were that kind of fruit, as maids call medlar when they laugh alone. Oh, Romeo, that you were. Oh, that you were an open heart. No, Bopper and Dare. Romeo, good night. I'll sit my chuckle bed. This field bed is too cold for me to sleep. Shall we go?
Go then, for 'tis in vain to seek he who means not to be found.
He jested scars that never felt a wound. But soft, what light through yonder window brings? It is the east. Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who is already sick and pale with grief, that thou, her maid, art far more fair than she. Be not her maid, and she is envious. Her vestal livery is but sick and green, and none but fools do wear it. Cast it off. It is my lady, oh, it is my love. Oh, that she knew she were. She speaks, yet she says nothing. What of that? Her eye discourses. I will answer it. I am too bold. 'Tis not to me she speaks. Two of the fairest stars in all the heaven having some business do entreat her eye to twinkle in their spheres till they return. What if her eyes were there, they in her head? The brightness of her cheek would shame those stars as daylight doth of lamp. Her eye in heaven would through the airy region stream so bright that birds would sing and think it were not night. See how she leans her cheek upon her hand. Oh, that I were love upon that hand, that I might touch that cheek.
Why me?
She speaks. Oh, speak again, bright angel, for thou art as glorious to this night being over my head, as is a winged messenger of heaven unto the wide upturned wondering eyes of mortals who fall back to gaze on him, when he bestrides the lazy puffing clouds and sails upon the bosom of the air.
Romeo. Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father, and refuse thy name. Or, if thou wilt not, be but sworn my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I hear more, or shall I speak at this?
'Tis but thy name that is my enemy. Thou art thyself, though not a Montague. What's Montague? It is nor hand, nor foot, nor arm, nor face. Oh, be some other name belonging to a man. What's in a name? That which we call a rose, by any other word would smell as sweet. So Romeo would, were he not Romeo called, retain that dear perfection which he owes without that title. Romeo, doff thy name, and for thy name, which is no part of thee, take all myself.
I take thee at thy word. Call me but love, and I'll be new baptized. Henceforth I never will be Romeo.
What man art thou that thus be screened and night so stumblest on thy counsel?
By a name. I know not how to tell thee who I am. My name, dear saint, is hateful to myself, because it is an enemy. Had I written, I would tear the word.
My ears have not yet drunk 100 words of thy tongue's uttering, yet I know the sound. Art thou not Romeo, and a Montague?
Neither, fair maid, neither in this life.
How camest thou hither, tell me, and wherefore? The orchard walls are high and hard to climb, and the place death, considering who thou art, if any of my kinsmen find thee here.
With love's like wings that I o'erperch these walls, for stony limits cannot hold love out. And one love do that dares love attempt. Therefore, my kinsmen are no stop to me.
If they do see thee, they will murder thee.
Back, there lies more peril in thine eye than 20 of their swords. Look thou but sweet, and I'm proof against their enmity.
I would not for the world they saw thee here.
I have night's cloak to hide me from their eyes. And but thou love me, let them find me here. My life were better ended by their hate than death forego me wanting of thy love.
By whose direction foundst thou out this place?
My love, who first did prompt me to inquire. He lends me counsel, and I lend him eyes. I have no pilot. Yet, wert thou as far as that vast shore washed with the farthest sea, I should adventure to such virtue.
Thou knowest the mask of night is on my face, else would a maiden blush but paint my cheek for that which thou hast heard me speak tonight. Fain would I dwell on form, fain deny that which I have spoke. But farewell compliment. Dost thou love me? I know thou wilt say aye, and I will take thy word. Yet if thou swearest, thou mayst prove false. At lovers' perjuries they say Jove laughs. Gentle Romeo, if thou dost love, pronounce it faithfully. Or, if thou thinkst I am too quickly won, I'll frown and be perverse and say thee nay. So thou wilt prove, but else not for the world. In truth, fair Montague, I'm too fond, and therefore thou mayst think my behavior light. But trust me, gentlemen, I'll prove more true than those that have more coin to be strange. I should have been more strange, I must confess, but that thou overheardst ere I was ware my true love passion. Therefore pardon me, and not impute this
swear by?
Do not swear at all. Or, if thou wilt, swear by thy gracious love, which is the God of my idolatry, and I'll believe thee.
My heart's dear love.
Well, do not swear. Although I joy in thee, I have no joy of this contract tonight. It is too rash, too unadvised, too sudden, too like the lightning, which doth cease to be ere one can say it lightens. Sweet good night. This bud of love by summer's ripening breath may prove a beauteous flower when next we meet. Good night, good night. As sweet repose and rest come to thy heart as that within my breast.
Wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied?
What satisfaction canst thou have tonight?
The exchange of thy true love's faithful vow for mine.
I did give thee mine before thou didst request it, and yet I would it were to give again.
Wouldst thou withdraw it? For what purpose, love?
But to be frank and give it thee again. And yet I wish but for the thing I have. My bounty is as boundless as the sea, my love as deep. The more I give to thee, the more I have, for both are infinite. Juliet! Hear some noise within. Dear love, adieu. Anon, good nurse. Sweet Montague, be true. I will come again.
Oh, blessed, blessed night. I am afeard. Being in night, all this is but a dream. Too flattering sweet to be substantial.
3 words, dear Romeo, and good night indeed. If that thy bent of love be honorable, thy purpose marriage, send me word tomorrow by one that I'll procure to come to thee, where and what time thou wilt perform the rite, and all my fortunes at thy foot I'll lay, and follow thee, my lord, throughout the world. Madam! By and by I come! But if thou meanest not well, I do beseech thee. Madam! By and by I come! To cease thy strife and leave me to my grief. Tomorrow will I send.
So thrive my soul.
1,000 times good night.
1,000 times the worse to want thy light. Love goes towards love, as schoolboys from their books, but love from love towards school with heavy looks.
Hist, Romeo, hist! Oh, for a falconer's voice to lure this tassel gentle back again. Bondage is hoarse and may not speak aloud, else would I tear the cave where echo lies, and make her airy tongue more hoarse than mine, with repetition of my Romeo.
It is my soul that calls upon my name. How silver sweet sound lovers' tongues by night, like softest music to attending ears.
Romeo!
My dear,
What o'clock tomorrow shall I send to thee?
by the hour of 9.
I will not fail. 'Tis 20 years till then. I have forgot why I did call thee back.
Let me stand here till thou rememberest.
I shall forget to have thee still stand there, remembering how I love thy company.
And I'll still stand here to have thee still forget, forgetting any other home but this.
'Tis almost morning. I would have thee gone, and yet no farther than a wanton spur, that lets it hop from his hand, like a poor prisoner in his twisted gyves, and with a silken thread plucks it back again, so loving jealous of his liberty.
And would I were thy bird.
Sweet, so would I. Yet I should kill thee with much cherishing. Good night, good night. Parting is such sweet sorrow that I shall say good night till it tomorrow.
Sleep well upon thine eye, peace in thy breast. Would I were sleep at peace, so sweet to rest. Hence will I to my ghostly friar's close cell, his help to crave, my dear hap to tell.
The gray-eyed morn smiles upon the frowning night, checkering the eastern clouds with streak of sight. And frowning darkness like a drunkard reels from 4th day's past in Titan's burning wheels. Ere the sun does advance his burning eye, the day to cheer, the night's bank dew to dry, I must have filled this oyster cage of ours with baleful weeds and precious juiced flowers. Within the rind of this weak flower, poison has residence and medicine power. This part brings smelt, cheers all parts. Being tasted, stills all senses with the heart. Two such opposed kings encamp them still in men as well as herbs, grace and rude will. And where the worser is predominant, soon full the canker death eats up the plant.
Good morrow, Father.
Benedicti, what youthful voice so early saluteth me? Young son, it does argue a distempered head to say good morrow to thy bed. For care rests in each old man's eye, and where care lodges, sleep will never lie. But where unbruised youth with unstuffed brain does crouch its limbs, there golden sleep does reign. So it does argue a distempered head to say good morrow to thy bed, or if this is not right, and here I get it. Young Romeo has not been to bed tonight.
That last is true. The sweeter rest was mine.
God pardon sin. What's that with Rosalind?
With Rosaline, my ghostly father, no. I have forgot that name, and that name's woe.
That's my good son. But where wast thou then?
I'll tell thee ere thou askest me again. I've been feasting with my inning, where on a sudden one hath wounded me, that's by me wounded. Both are remedies within thy help and holy physic lie. I bear no hatred, blessed man, for lo, my intercession likewise steads my foe.
Speak plainly and be homely in thy drift. Riddling confession finds but riddling shift.
And plainly know my heart's dear love is set on the fair daughter of rich Capulet. As mine on hers, so hers is set on mine. And all combined, say what thou must combine by Holy Mary. Where and when and how we met, we wooed and made exchange of vow. I'll tell thee as it passed, and this I pray, thou consent to marry us today.
Blessed St. Francis, what a change is here! Is Rosalind that thou did hold so dear, so soon forsaken? Truly, young man's love lies not in their heart, but in their eyes. Jesu Maria, what a sea of pride has washed thy shallow cheeks for Rosaline. How much salt water put in waste, for seasoning love it does not taste. Tell me this, women may fall when there's no strength in men.
But thou chidest me off for loving Rosaline.
For doting, not for loving, pupil mine.
And badst me very love.
Not in a grave to play one in and have another out.
Oh, I pray thee, chide me not. Her I love now. Doth grace for grace and love for love allow? The other did not so.
She knew well that thy love did read by rote that could not spell. But come, young waver, and this one regard I thou assistant be, for this union may so happy prove to change your household's rancor into pure love.
Let us hence. I stand on sudden haste.
Wisely and slow. Did they stumble who run fast?
Where the devil should this Romeo be? Came he not home tonight?
Not to his father's. I spoke with this man.
Why, that same pale, hard-hearted wench, that Rosaline, torments him so he will sure run mad.
Tybalt, the kinsman to the old Capulet, passed in a letter to his father's house.
A challenge on my life.
Romeo will answer it.
Any man can write may answer a letter.
Romeo will answer the letter faster if not scared to be fair.
Alas, poor Romeo, he's already dead. Stabbed with the white witch's black eye, run through the ear with a love song, the very pin of his heart cleft by the blind bow boy's butt shaft. And is he a man to encounter Tybalt?
Why? What is Tybalt?
Oh, he's more the Prince of Cats. Oh, he's the greatest captain of compliments. He fights as you sing. Prick song keeps time, distance, and proportion. He rests his men and rests. 1, 2, and the third in your bosom. And what? 1, 2, 3 in your bosom. The very butcher of a silk button. A duelist. A duelist. A gentleman of the very first house of the first and second cause. Ah, the immortal Passado. The punto reverso. The hey. The what? The talks of this antic, lisping, affecting fantasies. These new turners of accent. By Jesu, a very good blade, a very tall man, a very good whore. Why is this not elemental thing, grandsire, that we should be thus afflicted by these strange flies, these fashion mockers, these pardon me's, who stand so much on new form that they cannot sit at ease on the old bench? Oh, their bones, their bones.
Here comes Romeo, here comes Romeo.
about his roe like a dried herring. Oh, flesh, how thou art vitrified. Now is he for the numbers that peddle clothing. Laura, to his lady, was a kitchen wench. Mary, she had a better love to rhyme her. Dido a dowdy, Cleopatra a gypsy, Helen and Hero, Hildings and harlots, Thisbe a grey Ireson, but 'tis not to the purpose. Signor Romeo, bonjour. There's a French salutation for your French slop. You gave us a counterfeit fairly last night.
Good morrow to you both. What counterfeit did I give you?
The slip, sir, the slip. Can you not conceive?
Pardon, good Mercutio. My business was great, and in such a case as mine, a man may strain first.
That's as much to say, a case such as yours constrains a man to bow in the hand.
Meaning to courtesy.
Thou hast most kindly witted.
A most courteous exposition.
Hey, I'm the very thing of courtesy.
Pink for flower.
Correct.
Why then is my pump well flowered?
Surely. Follow me in this jest, till thou hast worn out thy cloth. Sir, though when the single soul of it is formed, the just may remain after wearing solely singular.
Oh, single soul jest solely singular for the singleness.
Come between us, good Benvolio, my wits faints.
Switch and spurs, or I'll cry match.
Nay, if our wits run the wild goose chase, then I am done. For thou hast more of the wild goose in one of thy wits than I have, I am sure, in my whole 5. Was I not with you there for the goose?
Thou wast not with me for anything when thou wast not there for the goose.
I will fight thee by the ear for that jest.
Goose bite not.
Thy wit is a very bitter sweetie, and it's a most sharp sauce.
And is it not then well served into a sweet goose?
Here's a wit of chivalry that stretches from an inch narrow to an ell broad.
I stretch it out for that word broad, which added to the goose proves thee far and wide a broad goose.
Now is this not better than groaning for love? Now art thou sociable, now art thou Romeo, now thou art what thou art, by art as well as by nature. For this driveling love is like a great natural that runs lolling up and down to hide his bauble in a hole.
Stop there, stop there.
Thou desirest me to stop in my tail against the hair?
Thou else would have made thy tail large.
Thou art deceived. I would have made it short, for I had come to the whole depth of my tale, and indeed meant to occupy the argument no longer.
Here's goodly gear. A sail. A sail.
2-2, a shirt and a smock.
Peter,
And on.
my fan, Peter.
Good Peter to hide her face, for her fan's a fair face.
Good morrow, good gentlemen.
God, you good eat, fair gentlewoman.
Is it goody?
'Tis no less, for the body hand of the dial is now upon the prick of noon.
Out upon you, what kind of man are you?
One gentle woman that God hath made himself to mar.
'Tis well said, himself to mar. Gentlemen, might you tell me where I can find young Romeo?
I can tell you. But young Romeo will be older when you have found him than he was when you sought him. I am the youngest of that name, for fault of a worse.
'Tis well said.
Yea, is the worst well? Very well took of faith, wisely, wisely.
If you be he, sir, I desire some confidence.
She will indict him just to suffer.
Abort, so ho!
What hast thou found?
No hair, sir, unless a hair, sir. And a Lenten pie is something stale and hoar ere it be spent. An old hair whore and an old hair whore is very good meat and lint. But a hair that is whore is too much for a score if a whore is hair it be spent. Romeo, will you to your father's, will to dinner thither?
I will follow you.
Farewell, ancient lady. Farewell, lady, lady, lady.
I pray you, sir, what is this saucy merchant that is so full of his roguery?
One gentle nurse that loves to hear himself talk and will speak more in a minute than he will stand to in a month.
Well, if he say anything against me, I will take him down. And if he was lustier than he is, well, 20 such jacks. Oh, saucy knave. I have none of his flirt gills, none of his gang mates, and thou too shalt stand by and suffer every knave to use me in his pleasure.
I saw no man using his pleasure. If I had, my weapon should quickly have been out. I warn you, I dare draw fear to the man if I see his blood wrong.
Before God, I am so vexed that every part of me quivers. Pray you, sir, a word. My lady sent me to bid you out. What she bid me say to you, I will keep to myself. But first, let me tell behavior, as they say. And should you lead her on a double deal, well, it's a very ill offering to make to any gentlewoman. Oh, weak dealing.
Nurse, commend me to thy lady and mistress. I protest unto thee.
Good heart. In faith, I will tell her so. Oh, Lord, Lord, she'll be a joyful woman.
What wilt thou tell her, nurse? Thou dost not mark me.
I will tell her thou dost protest, which, as I take it, is a gentlemanlike offer.
Bid her devise some means to come to Shrift this afternoon, and there she shall at Friar Lawrence's cell be shrived and married. Here's for thy pains.
Oh, no, sir, not a penny.
Go to, I say you shall.
Yes, this afternoon, sir, she shall be there.
And stay, good nurse, behind the abbey wall. Within this hour my man shall be with thee. Farewell. Be trusty, and I'll quit thy pains. Farewell. Commit me to thy lady.
1,000 times. Peter!
And on.
Before and apace.
The clock struck 9 when I did send the nurse. In half an hour she promised to return. Perchance she cannot meet him. That's not so. She is lame. Love's herald should be thoughts, which 10 times faster glides than the sun's beams, driving back shadows over lowering hills. Therefore do nimble pinioned doves draw love, and therefore hath the wind swift Cupid wings. Now is the sun upon the highmost hill of this day's journey, and from 9 till 12 is 3 long hours, yet she's not come. Had she affections and warm youthful blood, she would be as swift in motion as a ball. My words would bandy her to my sweet love, and his to me. But old folks, many fain as they were dead, unwieldy, slow, heavy, and pale as lead. Oh God, she comes. Honey nurse, what news? Hast thou met with him? Send thy man away.
Peter, stay at the gate.
Ooh. Now, what news? Oh, why look'st thou sad? Though news be sad, yet tell them merrily. If good, thou shamest the music of sweet news by playing it to me with so sour a face.
I am a weary. Give leave a while. Oh, my back, my bones ache. What a chance have I?
I would thou hadst my bones and I thy news. Nay, come, I pray thee, speak. Good nurse, speak.
Jesu, what haste! Can't you stay a while? Do you not see? I am out of breath.
How art thou out of breath when thou hast the breath to say to me that thou art out of breath? The excuse that thou dost make in this delay is longer than the tale thou dost excuse. Is it good or bad? Answer to that. Say either, and I'll say the circumstance. Let me be satisfied. Is it good or bad?
You have made a simple choice. You know not how to choose a man. Romeo? Oh, not he. Though most men, he has a better face than, and his leg excels all men, and his hand and his body and his feet, though not to be talked to. Ooh, I'll pass compare. Ah, though he's not a flower of courtesy, I warrant he is as gentle as a lamb. Go thy ways, serve God. Have you had dinner?
No, all this did I know before. What says he of our marriage? What of that?
Well, he says, as any loving, generous, handsome, courteous. Where is your mother?
Where is my mother? Why, she is within. Where should she be? Oh, how oddly thou repliest. Your true love says, like an honest gentleman, where is your mother?
Is this just for my aching bones? Ah.
Come, here's such a coil. What says Romeo?
Do you have leave to go to shrift today?
I have.
Hie you to Friar Lawrence's cell. There, stays a husband to make you a wife. Oh, now the watching blood comes up to your cheeks. They'll be scarlet straight away at any news. Hie you to the cell. I must another way. Oh, I am just the drudge and toil to your delight, but you will soon carry the burden at night. Go you, hie you to the cell.
High to high fortune. Honest nurse, farewell.
So smile the heavens upon this holy act, that after hours with sorrow chide us not.
Amen. Amen. But come what sorrow can, it cannot countervail the exchange of joy that one short minute gives me in her sight. Do thou but close our hands with holy words, then love devouring death, do what he dare. It is enough I may but call her mine.
These violent delights have violent ends, and in their passion consume, like fire and powder, which as they kiss consume. The most delicious honey is loathsome in its deliciousness, and doth confound the appetite in its taste. Therefore, love moderately. Long love does so. Too swift are eyes tardy as too slow. Oh, here comes a lady. Oh, so light of foot. She never ever outwear the everlasting flint. A lover may destroy the gossamers that idle in the summer wind and not fall. So light is vanity.
Good even to my ghostly confessor.
Romeo shall thank thee, daughter, for his bow.
As much to him, else is his thanks too much.
Juliet, if the measure of thy joy be heaped like mine, that thy skill be more to blaze in it, and sweeten with thy breath this neighbor air, let rich music's tongue unfold the imagined happiness that both receive in either by this dear encounter.
Conceit more rich in matter than in words, racked with substance, not in ornament. They are but beggars that can count their worth. But my true love is grown to such excess, I cannot sum up some of half my wealth.
Come, come, and by your leave we will make short work. And you two shall not be alone until Holy Church incorporate two as one.
I pray thee, good Mercutio, retire. For the day is hot, and the travels are abroad, and if we meet, we shall not escape abroad. For these hot days we had but stirring.
Thou art like one of those fellows upon entering the confines of a tavern that claps thee his sword upon the table and says, God send me no need of thee. And by the operation of the second cup draws him on the drawer when indeed there is no need.
Am I like such a fellow?
Come, come, thou art as hot as Jack and thy mood as any in Italy. Thou art as soon moved to be moody, and as soon moody to be moved.
And what crew?
Nay, and there were two such we should have none shortly, for one would kill the other. Thou wilt quarrel with a man for having a hair more or a hair less than yours thou hast. Thou wilt quarrel with a man for cracking nuts, having no other reason than thou hast these lies. What eye but such an eye would spy out such a quarrel? Thy head is as full of quarrel as an egg is full of meat, and thy head is as addle as an egg for quarreling. Thou wilt quarrel with a man for coughing in the street because he hath awakened thy dog that hath lain asleep in the sun. Didst thou not fall out with a tailor for wearing his new doublet before Easter? With another for tying his new shoes with old ribbon? And thou wilt tutor me from quarreling.
And if I were so apt to quarrel as thou art, any man would buy my life the simple fee for an hour and a quarter.
Oh, the fee simple? Oh, simple.
By my head would come to calculate.
By my heel I care not.
Follow me close, I will speak with them. Gentlemen, Juliet, a word with one of you.
And by one word with one of us? Couple it with something. Make it a word and a blow.
Find me absent up to that ceremony will give me occasion.
Could you not take the occasion without giving? pleasure out.
Peace be with you. Here comes my man.
I'll be hanged, sir, if you wear your livery. Mary, go before to deal to be your follower. Your worship that since they call him man.
Romeo, the love I bear thee can afford no better term than this. Thou art a villain.
Tybalt, the reason I have to love thee doth much excuse the appertaining rage to such a greeting. Villain am I none, therefore farewell. I see thou knowest me not.
Boy, this does not excuse the injuries that thou hast done me. Therefore turn and draw.
I do protest I never injured thee, but love thee better than thou canst devise till thou shalt know the reason of my love. So, good Capulet, which name I tender as dearly as mine own, be satisfied.
Oh, calm, dishonorable, vile submission. Honest Staccato carries it away. Tybalt, you fat catcher, will you walk?
Wouldst thou have with me?
If you cast nothing but one of your 9 lives that I mean to make all. And you shall use me hereafter, drive me the rest of the 8. And you pluck your sword from his shoulder. In case there might be about your here, there, out.
I am for you.
Gentle Mercutio, put thy rapier up.
Come, sir, your dishonor.
Draw, Benvolio, beat down their weapons. Gentlemen, for shame forbear this outrage. Tybalt, Mercutio, the prince expressly hath forbid this bandying in Verona streets. Hold, Tybalt. Ah! Good Mercutio!
Wait, Tybalt! I am hurt. Is he a plague on both your houses? I am sped. Is he gone and hath nothing?
What, art thou hurt?
Aye, a scratch, a scratch. Mary, 'tis enough. 'Twill serve.
Courage, man, the hurt cannot be much.
No, 'tis not so deep as a well or so wide as a church door. But Mary, 'tis enough. 'Twill serve. Ask for me tomorrow, and you shall find me a brave man. And peppered I work for this world. A plague of both your houses. Sounds. A dog, a rat, a mouse, a cat to scratch a man to death. A braggart, a rogue, a villain that fights by the book of arithmetic. Why the devil came you between us? I was hurt under your arm.
I thought all for the best.
Tell me, innocent husband, Gully, or shall me. A plague of both your houses. They have made worms eat of me. I have thousands. Your houses!
This gentleman, the prince's near ally, my very friend, hath got this mortal hurt in my behalf. My reputation stained with Tybalt's slander. Tybalt, that an hour hath been my cousin. Sweet Juliet, thy beauty hath made me effeminate, and in my temper softened valor's steel.
Oh, Romeo! Brave Mercutio is dead! The gallant spirit that hath aspired the clouds, which too untimely here did scorn the earth.
This day's black fate on more days doth depend. This but begins the woe others must end.
Here comes the fearless Tybalt back again.
Alive in triumph, and Mercutio slain. Away to heaven respective lenity, and fire-eye fury be my conduct now. Now, Tybalt, take thee, villain, back again, which late thou gavest me. For Mercutio's soul is but a little way above our heads, staying for thine. Keep him company. Either thou, or I, or both must go with him.
Thou wretched boy that did consort him here shall with him hence.
This shall determine that.
Romeo, away, be gone, the citizens are up and Tybalt slain. Stand not amazed. The prince will doom thee death if thou art taken. Hence, be gone, away!
Oh, I am fortune's fool.
Why dost thou stay?
Which way ran he that killed Mercutio? Tybalt, that murderer, which way ran he?
There lies that Tybalt. Officer, go with me. Obey! Obey!
Where are the foul beginners of this fray?
Oh, noble prince, I can discover all the unlucky manage of this fatal brawl. There lies the man slain by young Romeo, who slew thy kinsman brave Mercutio. Oh, Tybalt, my cousin, my brother's child. Oh, cousin, Mercutio's breast. With one hand, he called death aside, and with the other, sends it back to Tybalt his dexterity towards it. Romeo, he cries aloud, hold friends, friends part, and swifter than his tongue, his agile arm beats down her cradle. Crimson rushes underneath to his arm. An envious thrust from Tybalt hit the line of the stout Mercutio. And then Tybalt fled. But by and by comes back to Romeo, who had but newly entertained revenge. And to it, they go like lightning, for ere I could draw to part them was Tybalt slain. And as he fell, did Romeo turn and fly. This is the truth, or let Benvolio die.
He is a kinsman to the Montagues. Affection makes him false. He speaks not the truth. Some 20 of them fought in this black strife, and of those 20 could kill but one life. I beg for justice, which thou must give. Romeo slew Tybalt. Romeo must not live.
Romeo slew him, slew Mercutio, for whom now the price of his dear blood doth owe.
Not Romeo, Prince. His fault concludes. But the law should end the life of Tybalt.
And for that offense, immediately do we exile him hence, for having interest in your houses. My blood in you fall doth the bleeding, and our mercy was so strong and fine that you shall all repent the loss of mine. No tears, no prayers shall purchase out your abuses. Therefore, use none. Let Romeo hence in haste, and when he is found, the hour be his last. There he somebody's into no will. Mercy but murderers, pardoning those that kill.
Gallop apace, you fiery-footed steed, towards Phoebus' lodging. Such a wagoner as Phaeton would whip you to the west and bring in cloudy night immediately. Spread thy close curtain, love-performing night, that runaway's eyes may wink, and Romeo leap to these arms, untalked of and unseen. Lovers concede to do their amorous rites by their own beauties, or, if love be blind, best a breeze with night. Come, civil knight, thou sober-suited matron all in black, and learn me how to lose a winning match, played for a pair of stainless maidenhoods. Hood my unmanned blood, bathing in my cheek, till strange love grow bold, and think true love acted simple modesty. Come, night, come, Romeo, come thou day in night, for thou wilt lie upon the wings of night, whiter than new snow upon a raven's back. Come, gentle night, come, loving, black-browed night, and give me my Romeo. And when I shall die, take him and cut him out in little stars, and he will make the face of heaven so fine that all the world will be in love with night, and pay no worship to the garish sun. Oh, so tedious is this day, as is the night before some festival, to an impatient child that hath new robes and may not wear them. Here comes my nurse, and she brings news, and every tongue that speaks but Romeo's name speaks heavenly eloquence. Now, nurse, what news? Ay me, what news? Why dost thou wring thy hands?
Oh, Werribee, he's dead. He's dead. He's dead. Oh, madam, we are undone. Undone. Alas, the day he's gone. He's killed. He's dead.
Can heaven be so envious?
Oh, Romeo can, though heaven cannot. Oh, Romeo, Romeo. Who would have thought it Romeo?
What devil art thou that thus tormenting us? This torture should be roared in dismal hell. Hath Romeo slain himself? Say thou but I, and that bare bowel eye shall poison more than the death-darting eye of cockatrice. I am not I, if there be such an eye, or if those eyes shut that makes the answer I. If he be slain, say I, or if not, no. Brief sounds determine my weal or woe.
I saw the wound. I saw it with mine eyes. God save the here on his manly chest. A bloody, piteous corse, pale as ashes, all bedaubed in blood, all in gore, blood. I swooned at the sight.
Oh, break my heart, poor bankrupt, break at once. To prison I snare look on liberty. Vile earth to earth resign, end motion here. And thou and Romeo press one heavy bier.
Tybalt. Honest, courteous Tybalt, that I should live to see him dead.
What storm is this that blows so contrary? Is Romeo slaughtered and is Tybalt dead? My dearest cousin and my dear lord. Oh, then dreadful trumpet, sound the general doom, for who is living if those two are gone?
Tybalt is gone. Romeo is banished. He that killed him is banished.
Oh, God. Did Romeo's hand shed Tybalt's blood?
It did. Alack the day it did.
Oh, serpent heart, hid with a flowering face. Did ever dragon keep so fair a cave? Oh, beautiful tyrant, fiend angelical, dove-feathered raven, wolfish ravening lamb, despised substance, divinest show, just opposite to what he justly seems. A damned saint, an honorable villain. Oh, nature, what hadst thou to do in hell when thou didst bower up the spirit of a fiend in mortal paradise of such sweet flesh? Was ever book containing such vile matter so fairly bound? Oh, that deceit should dwell in such a gorgeous palace.
There's no trust, no honesty, no faith in men. They're all perjurers, all forsworn, all for naught, all dissemblers. Oh, where's my man? Get me an aqua vitae. Oh, these griefs, these woes, these sorrows make me old. Shame come to Romeo.
Blistered be thy tongue for such a wish. He was not born to shame. Upon his brow, shame is ashamed to sit, for 'tis a throne where honor may be crowned, sole monarch of the universal earth. Oh, what a beast was I to chide at him!
Will you speak well of him that killed your cousin?
Shall I speak ill of him that is my husband? Oh, poor my lord, what tongue shall smooth thy name when I, thy 3 hours wife, have mangled it? But wherefore, villain, didst thou kill my cousin? That villain cousin would have slain my husband. Back, foolish tears, back to your native spring. Your tributary drops belong to woe, which you, mistaking, offer up to joy. My husband lives that Tybalt would have slain, and Tybalt's dead that would have slain my husband. All this is comfort. Wherefore weep I then? Some word there was, worser than Tybalt's death, that murdered me. Tybalt is dead, and Romeo is banished. That banished, that one word banished, hath slain 10,000 Tybalts. Tybalt's death was woe enough if it had ended there. Or if sour woe delights in fellowship, and needly will be ranked with other griefs. Why followed not, when she said Tybalt's dead, thy father, or thy mother, nay, or both, which modern lamentation might have moved? But with a rearward following Tybalt's death, Romeo is banished. To speak that word is father, mother, Tybalt, Romeo, Juliet, all slain, all dead. Romeo is banished. There is no end, no limit, measure, bound in that word's death. No words can that woe sound. Where's my father and my mother, nurse?
They are weeping and wailing over Tybalt's corpse. Will you go to them? I'll take you thither.
Wash they his wounds with tears. Mine shall be spent when theirs are dry for Romeo's banishment. Come. come, nurse, all to my wedding bed. And death, not Romeo, take my maidenhead.
Hie you to your chamber. I will find Romeo to comfort you. Arthur, I not well where he is. He'll be here tonight. Hie you to your cell. I must another way. Ah!
Oh, find him. Give this ring to my true knight, and bid him come to take his last farewell.
Romeo! Oh, come forth, thy fearful man! Affliction is enamored of thy parts, and thou art wedded to calamity!
Father, what news? What is the prince's doom? What sorrow craves acquaintance at my hand that I yet know not?
Oh, too familiar are you with such sour company. I bring thee tidings of the prince's doom.
What less than doomsday is the prince's doom?
A softer word banished from his lips. Not body's death, but body's banishment.
Banishment. Be merciful. Say death. For exile hath more terror in his look, much more than death. Do not say banished.
From Verona thou art banished. But be patient, for the world is broad and wide.
There is no world without Verona walls, but purgatory, torture, hell itself. It's banishing. It's banished from the world. And world's exile is death. Then banish it is death mistermed. Calling death banish it. Thou cuts my head off with a golden axe and smilest upon the stroke that murders me.
Oh, rude unthankfulness, oh, deadly sin! Thy fault the law calls death, but the kindly prince, taking that your part, has turned that black word death into banishment. It is a dear blessing, and thou seest it not.
'Tis torture and not a blessing. Heaven is here, where Juliet lives. And every cat and dog and little mouse, every unworthy thing live here in heaven and may look on her, but Romeo may not. More validity, more honorable state, more courtship lives in carrion flies than Romeo. They may seize on the white wonder of dear Juliet's hand and steal immortal blessing from her lips, who even in pure and bestial modesty still blush as thinking their own kisses sin. But Romeo may not. He is vanishing. Flies may do this, but I from this must fly. They are free men, but I am banishing. And sayest thou yet that exile is not death? Hadst thou no poison mixed, no sharp ground knife, no sudden means of death, though ne'er so mean, but banish it, to kill me, banish it. Friar, the damned use that word in hell, howling attends it. How hast thou the heart, being a divine, a ghostly confessor, a sin absolver, and my friend, profess to mangle me with that word banishment?
Oh, fond madman, hear me a little speak.
Oh, thou wilt speak again of banishment.
I will give thee armor to fend off that word. Philosophy, sweet milk, adversity, sweet milk, philosophy. To comfort thee, though thou art banished.
Yet, banish it. Hang up philosophy. Unless philosophy can make a Juliet. Displant a town. Reverse a prince's doom. It helps not. It prevails not. Talk no more.
Oh, I see that madmen have no ears.
How should they when that wise men have no eyes? Look, wert thou as young as I, Juliet thy love, an hour but married, Tybalt murdered, doting like me, and like me banished it. Then mightst thou speak, then mightst thou tear thy hair out, and fall upon the ground as I do now, taking the measure of an unmade grave.
Oh, someone walks. Arise, Romeo.
Not I. Unless the breath of heart-sick groans mist-like it folds me from the search of eyes.
Who's there? Arise, Romeo. You will be taken. Here how they knock. What simpleness is this? By and by, get thee and get to my study. Who's there? Who cometh whence? What's thy business?
And you shall know I am. I've come from Lady
Oh, welcome then.
Oh, oh, Friar, dear Friar, tell me where my lady's lord is. Where is Romeo?
Over there, on the floor, on his own tears made drunk.
Oh, he's even in my mistress's case. Just so in her case. Woeful sympathy, piteous predicament, and even so lies she, blubbering and weeping, weeping and blubbering. Stand up! Stand up! Stand up and you be a man. Stand up for Juliet's sake, for her sake. Rise and stand. Why should you be so deep and oh?
Nurse,
Aye, death's the end of all.
spakest thou of Juliet? How is it with her? Doth not she think me an old murderer? For now I have stained the childhood of our joy with blood removed but little from her own. Where is she? And how doth she? And what says my concealed lady to our cancelled love?
She says nothing, sir, but weeps and falls to her bed, and stands again, and calls for Tybalt, and cries for Romeo, and falls down again.
As if that name, shot from the deadly level of a gun, did murder her. As that old name's cursed hand murdered thy kinsman. Tell me, Friar, tell me, in what vile part of this anatomy doth my name lodge? Tell me, so that I may sack the hateful mansion.
Stay thy desperate hand. Art thou a man? Thy form cries out thou art. Thy tears are womanish. Thy tears are womanish. Thy wild acts donate the unreasonable fury of a beast. Unseemly woman and seemly man, an unbeseeming beast and beseeming both. Thy Juliet lives, who but too recently was to thy dad. There art thou happy? Tybalt would have killed thee, but thou suest Tybalt. There art thou happy? The law that promises death becomes thy friend and turns to banishment. There art thou happy? A pack of blessings alight upon thy back, and happiness comes you in her sweetest array. But like a misbehaved and sullen wench, thou cast aside thy fortune and thy love. Take heed, for such thy miserable. Go, get thee to thy wife as was decreed. Ascend her chamber and comfort her. But make sure thou be gone before the break of dawn. Get thee to Mantua, and then stay there until such time as we can blaze your marriage, reconcile your friends, and beg pardon of the kindly prince, and bring you home with 200,000 times more cheers than thou went in lamentations. Good nurse, commend me to thy lady. Have her send everyone to bed, as heavy sorrows want to make them do. Romeo is coming.
Oh, dear Friar, I could have stayed all night to hear such good counsel. Oh, what learning is. I'll tell my lady that you shall come.
Do so, and bid my sweet prepare to chide.
Yes, sir. A reed bid me give you. I, A.K. Word made.
How well my comfort is revived by this.
Get thee to thy wife. But in this all thy estate lies. Gone before the break of dawn, or disguised from hence. Sojourn to Mantua. I will contact your man, and we will keep thee informed of all good haps. Farewell, good night.
But that a joy past joy calls out on me, and were a grief so brief to part with me. Farewell.
Things have fallen out, sir, so unluckily that we have had no time to use our daughter. Look you, she loved her kinsman Tybalt dearly, and so did I. Well, we were born to die. 'Tis very late, she'll not come down tonight. I promise you, but for your company, I would have been to bed an hour ago.
These times of woe afford no time to woo. Madame, good night. Commend me to your daughter.
I will, and know her mind early tomorrow. For tonight she is viewed up to her heaviness.
Sir Paris, I will make a desperate tender of my child's love. I think she will be ruled in all respects by me. Nay, more, I doubt it not. Wife, go you to her ere you go to bed. Acquaint her here of my son Paris's love, and bid her, mark you me, on Wednesday next. But soft, what day is this?
Monday, my lord.
Oh, Monday. Well, Wednesday is too soon. On Thursday let it be. On Thursday tell her she shall be married to this noble earl. Will you be ready? Do you like this haste? We'll keep no great ado. A friend or two. For hark you, Tybalt being slain so late, it may be thought we held him perilously, being our kinsman, if we revel much. Therefore, we'll have some half a dozen friends, and therein it. But what say you to Thursday?
My lord, I were that Thursday were tomorrow.
Well, get you gone. Go you to Juliet ere you go to bed. Prepare her, wife, against this wedding day. Farewell, my lord. Huh. It is so very, very late that we may call it early by and by.
Wilt thou be gone? It is not yet near day. It was the nightingale and not the lark that pierced the fearful hollow of thine ear. Nightly she sings on yon pomegranate tree. Believe me, love, it was the nightingale.
Was the lark, herald of the morn, no nightingale. Look, love, envious streaks do lace the severing clouds in yonder east. Night's candles are burnt out. Darkened day stands tiptoe on the misty mountain tops. I must be gone and live, stay and die.
Yon light is not daylight, I know it, I. It is some meteor that the sun exhaled to be this night a torchbearer, and light thee on thy way to Mantua. Therefore stay yet, thou needst not to be gone.
Let me be tame. Let me be content. I am content so thou wilt have it so. I'll say yon gray is not the morning's eye. 'Tis but the pale reflex of Cynthia's brow. Nor that is not the lark whose notes do beat the vaulty heavens so high above our heads. I have more care to stay than will to go. Death is welcome. Yet wills it so. How is it, my soul? Let's talk. It is not dead.
It is the lark that sings so out of tune, straining harsh discords and unpleasing sharps. Some say the lark makes sweet division. This doth not so, for she divideth us. Some say the lark and the loathed toad changed eyes. Now I would they had changed voices too, since arm from arm this voice doth us affray. Hunting thee hence with hunts up to the day. Now be gone, more light and light it grows.
More light and light. More dark and dark our woes.
Madam! Madam! Your lady mother comes to your chamber, day is broke, be wearying about. Oh,
Then window let day in and let light out.
Farewell. Farewell. One kiss and I'll descend.
Art thou gone so? Love, Lord, I, less than friend. I must hear from thee every day in the hour, for in a minute there are many days. By this count I shall be much in years ere I again behold my Romeo.
Farewell. I will omit no opportunity to convey my greetings, love, to you.
Thinkest thou we shall ever meet again?
I doubt it not. And all this wool will serve as sweet discourses in our times to come.
God, I have an ill divining soul. Methinks I see thee now thou art so low, as one dead in the bottom of a tomb. Either my eyesight fails or thou lookest pale.
Trust me, love. My eyes so for our sorrow drinks our blood.
Fortune, fortune, all men call thee fickle. If thou art fickle, what dost thou with him that is renowned for Be fickle, fortune, for then I hope thou wilt not keep him long, but send him back.
Oh, daughter, art thou up?
Who is it that calls? It is my lady mother. Is she not down so late or up so early? What unaccustomed cause procures her hither?
Why, how now, Juliet?
Madam, I am not well.
What? Thou weepest for his death? Why, if thou couldst bring him from his grave without tears, thou couldst not. Therefore, showing some grief, show some love. Showing much grief, show still some want of wit.
Yet let me weep for such a feeling loss.
So shall you feel the loss, but not the friend that you weep for.
Feeling so the loss, I cannot choose but ever weep the friend.
Yes, but you weepest not so much for his death as that the friend lives that slaughtered him.
What friend, madam?
That same villain friend, Romeo.
Villain and he be many miles asunder. God pardon him. I do with all my heart, and yet no man like he doth grieve my heart.
That is because that traitor villain lives.
I, madam, from the reach of these my hands, would none but I might venge my cousin's death.
We shall have vengeance for it, fear thou not. Then weep no more. I will send to one in Mantua, where that same banished renegade doth live, and shall give him such an unaccustomed dram that he shall soon keep Sybil's company. And then I hope thou wilt be satisfied.
Indeed, madam, I never shall be satisfied with Romeo till I behold him dead. Is my poor heart so for a kinsman vexed? If you could find out but a man to bear the poison, I would temper it, that Romeo should, upon receipt thereof, soon sleep in quiet. Oh, how my heart abhors to hear him named, and cannot come to him, to wreak the love I bore my cousin upon his body that has slaughtered him.
Find thou the means, and I'll accomplish it. But now I bring thee joyful tidings, girl.
Oh, and joy comes well in such a needy time. What are they, beseech your ladyship?
Well, thou hast a careful father, one who, looking from thy heavens, has sorted out a sudden day of joy. That thou expectest not, joy was not told.
Madam, in happy time. What day is that?
Marry, my child, early next Thursday, the gallant, young, and noble gentleman of County Paris, at St. Peter's Church, shall make thee there a joyful bride.
Now, by St. Peter's Church, and Peter too, he shall not make me there a joyful bride. I wonder at this haste that I must wed ere he that should be husband comes to woo. I pray you tell my lord and father, madam, I will not marry yet, and when I do, I swear it shall be Romeo, whom you know I hate, rather than marry Paris. These are news indeed.
Here comes your father. Tell him so yourself, and see how he takes it at your hands.
When the sun sets, the air doth drizzle dew. But for the sunset of my brother's son, it rains downright. What, girl? Conduit? Thou art still in tears? Evermore showering. In thy one little body thou counterfeitest a bark, a sea, a wind, for still thine eyes, which I may call the sea, do ebb and flow with tears. The bark thy body is, sailing in this salt flood. The winds thy sighs, who raging with thy tears and they with them, without a sudden calm will overset thy tempest-tossed body. How now, wife? Hast thou delivered to her our decree?
Aye, she will have none. She gives you thanks. I would the fool would put to her grave.
Soft, take me with you, wife, take me with you. How, will she none? Does she not give us thanks? Is she not proud? Does she not count her blessed, unworthy as she is, that we have brought so worthy a gentleman to be her bridegroom?
Not proud you have, but thankful that you have. Proud can I never be of what I hate, but thankful even for hate that is meant love.
How now, chopped logic? What is this? Proud. I thank you. I thank you not. Yet not to go with Paris to St. Peter's Church, or I will drag thee on a hurdle thither. Out, green sickness carrion. Out, you baggage, you tallow face.
Fie, what are you mad?
Good father, I do beseech you on my knees. Hear me with patience, but to speak a word.
Hang thee, young baggage, disobedient wretch. Tell thee what, get thee to church on Thursday, or never after look me in the face. Speak not, reply not, do not answer me. My fingers itch. Wife, we scarce thought us blessed that God had lent us but this only child. Now I see that this one is one too much. We have had a curse in having her. Out on her, Hilding.
God in heaven bless her. You are to blame to rate her so.
And why, my lady Wisdom? Hold your tongue. Good Prudence, smatter with your gossips. Go.
I speak no treason.
God pity.
May not one speak?
Peace, you mumbling fool! Utter your gravity over gossip's bowl, for here we need it not.
You are too hot.
God's bread, it makes me mad. Day. Night. Hour. Time. Time. Work. Play. Alone. In company. Still my care hath been to have her matched. And having now provided a gentleman of noble parentage, of fair demeans, youthful and nobly trained, stuffed, as they say, with honorable parts, proportioned as one's thought would wish a man. And then to have a wretched, puling fool, a whining mammet in her fortune's tender, to say, I'll not wed, I cannot love, I am too young, I pray you pardon me. But an you will not wed, I'll pardon you. Graze where you will, you shall not house with me. Look to it, think on it. I do not use to jest. Thursday is near. Lay hand on heart and advise. And you be mine, I will give you to my friend. And you be not, hang, beg, starve, die in the streets, for by my soul, I'll never acknowledge me, nor what is mine will ever do thee good. Trust to it, but think you, I'll not be forsworn.
Was there no pity sitting in the clouds that sees into the bottom of my grief? Sweet my mother, cast me not away. Delay this marriage a month, a week. Or if you do not, make the bridal bed in that dim monument where Tybalt lies.
Speak to me not, for I will not speak a word. Do as thou wilt, for I am done with thee!
Oh, God. Nurse, how shall this be prevented? My husband is on earth, my faith in heaven. How shall that faith return again to earth, unless that husband send it me from heaven by leaving earth? Comfort me, counsel me. Oh, alack, that heaven should practice stratagems upon so soft a subject as myself. What sayest thou? Hast thou not a word of joy? Some comfort, nurse.
Faith, here it is. Romeo is banished, and to all the world for naught dare he ne'er come back to challenge you. For if he do, it must be by stealth. Since the case so stands as it now doth, I think it best you marry Count Paris. He's a lovely gentleman. Romeo is a dishclout to him. An eagle, madam, hath not so green, so quick, so fair an eye as Paris hath. Beshrew my heart, I think this choice, this second match, makes you happy, for it excels the first. Or if it did not, the first is dead. Or 'twere as good he were, for living here, and you no use of him.
Speakest thou from thy heart?
And from my soul will beshrew them both.
On then.
What?
Well, thou hast
to wish me thus forsworn, or to dispraise my lord with that same tongue which she hath praised him with above compare so many thousand times. Go, counselor. Thou and my bosom henceforth shall be twain. I'll to the friar to know his remedy. If all else fail, myself have power to die.
Thursday, you say? The time is very short.
My father Capulet will have it so, and I am nothing slow to slack his pace.
But you say you do not know the lady's mind. The course is uneven. I like it not.
Immoderately she weeps for Tybalt, and therefore I have little talk of love, and Venus melts not in a house of tears. Her father counts it danger, she gives her sorrows so much sway, but in his wisdom haste our marriage, to stop the inundation of her tears, which too much minded by herself alone, would be minded to her by society. Now do you understand the reason for this haste?
Would I knew not why it should be slowed. Oh, here comes the lady to my cell.
Happily meet my lady and my wife. That may be, sir, when I may be a wife. This may be, must be, by Thursday next. What must be shall be.
That's a certain text.
Have you come to make confession to the Father? To answer that, I should confess to you. Do not deny to him that you love me. I will confess to you that I love him. So will you, shall you love me? If I do so, it will be of more price being spoke behind your back than to your face. Poor soul, thy face is much abused with tears. The tears have got small victory by that, for it was bad enough before this fight. Thy slander it more than tears with this report. That is no slander, sir, which is a truth, and what I spake it to my face. Are you at leisure, Holy Father, now, or shall I come to you at evening mass?
My leisure serves thee, pensive daughter. Come, my lord, we must entreat the time alone.
God shield us should disturb devotion. Until then, Juliet, adieu, and I will rise thy early Thursday morning. Keep this holy kiss. Shut the door, and when thou hast done so, come weep with me. Past hope, past care, past help.
Oh, Juliet, I have heard the news, and my wits are beyond their compass that this Thursday thou must, and nothing may prevent it, be married to that county.
Tell me not, friar, that thou hearest of this, unless thou tell me how I may prevent it. If in thy wisdom thou canst give me no help, do thou but call my resolution wise. And with this knife I'll help it presently. God joined my heart and Romeo's, thou our hands, and ere this hand by thee to Romeo's sealed, shall be the label to another deed, or my true heart with treacherous revolt turn to another. This shall slay them both. Therefore, out of thy long experienced time, give me some present counsel, or behold, twixt my extremes in me, this bloody knife shall play the umpire, arbitrating that which the commission of thy years in art could to no issue of true honor bring. Be not so long to speak. I long to die if what thou speak not of remedy.
Oh, hold, daughter. I do see a kind of hope. It's so desperate to execute as the desperate item which we try to avoid. If thou hast the strength of will to slay thyself here, rather than marry county parish, thou might untake a form of death to avoid the current shame. We compassed with death himself to escape it. If thou darest, I give thee remedy.
Bid me leap rather than marry Paris from off the battlements of any tower, or walk in thievish ways, or bid me lurk where serpents are. Chain me with roaring bears, or hide me nightly in a charnel house, overcovered quite with dead men's rattling bones, with reeky shanks and yellow chapless skulls, or bid me go into a new-made grave, and hide me with a dead man in his shroud. Things that to hear them told have made me tremble, and I'll do it without fear or doubt, to live an unstained wife to my sweet love.
Go then. return to the house, make merry. Consent to marry Paris. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Wednesday night, make sure thy lie alone. Let not your nurse sleep with thee. Takest this to thy bed, and when there, drinkest thou of this distilling liquor. It will fill thee with a cold distemper, and all breathing will cease. You will appear as though thou art dead. Then, on Thursday, when the bridegroom arrives, thou art dead. And is the custom in our nation, in thy finest robes will they be arrayed, and taken to the crypt where all the Capulets do lie. In the meantime, I will send a friar to Romeo, and have him come forth, and we will watch thee wake. And when thou dost, he will accompany thou to Mantua, and there thou shalt be happy with him. If no inconsistent toy or womanish fear abate thou valor in the acting of.
Give me, give me. Tell not me of fear.
Go, persevere in thy strength, and know that I will right thy lord.
Love give me strength, and strength shall help afford. Dear father, farewell.
So many guests invite, as here are writ. Go, sirrah, hire me 20 cunning cooks.
You shall have none ill, sir, for I'll try if they lick their fingers.
How canst thou try them so?
Marry, sir, 'tis no cook that cannot lick his own fingers, though not with me.
Go, be gone. You shall be much unfurnished for this time. What, has my daughter gone to Friar Lawrence?
Aye, forsooth.
Well, he may chance to do some good on her. A peevish, self-willed harlotry it is.
See where she comes from shrift with a merry look.
How now, my headstrong? Where have you been gadding?
Where I have learned me to repent the sin of disobedient opposition to yielding or behest, and am enjoined by holy Lawrence to fall prostrate here and beg your pardon. Pardon, I beseech thee. Henceforward I am ever ruled by you.
Send for the county. Go tell him of this. I'll have this knot knit up tomorrow morning.
I met the youthful lord at Lawrence's cell and gave him what becometh love I might, not stepping over the bounds of modesty.
Why, I am glad on it. This is well. Stand up. This is as it should be. Let me see the county. Mary, go, I say. Fetch him hither. Now, before God, this reverend holy friar, our whole city is much bound to him.
Will you go with me, nurse, into my closet, to help me sort such needful ornaments as you think fit to furnish me tomorrow?
No, not until Thursday. There is time enough.
Go, nurse, go with her. We'll to church tomorrow.
We shall be short in our provisions. It's now near night.
Hush. I will stir about, and all things will be well, I warrant thee, wife. Go thou to Juliet. Help to deck her up. I'll not to bed tonight. Let me alone. I can play the housewife for this once. What? Oh! They are all forth. Well, I will walk myself to Count Paris to prepare him up against tomorrow. My heart is wondrous light that the same wayward girl is so reclaimed.
Aye, those attires are best. But, gentle nurse, I pray thee leave me to myself tonight, for I have need of many orisons to move the heavens to smile upon my state, which well thou knowest is cross and full of sin.
What, art thou busy? Need you my help?
No, madam, we have culled such necessaries as are behooveful for our state tomorrow. So please you, let me now be left alone,
and let the nurse this night sit up with you, for I am sure you have your hands full all in this so sudden business.
Good night. Go thee to bed and get rest, for thou hast need.
Farewell. God knows when we shall meet again. I have a faint, cold fear thrills through my veins, but almost freezes up the heat of life. I'll call them back again to comfort me. Nurse! What should she do here? My dismal scene I must needs act alone. Come, vial. What if this mixture do not work at all? Shall I be married then tomorrow morning? No. No, this shall forbid it. Lie thou there. What if it be a poison, which the friar subtly hath mixed to have me dead, lest in this marriage he should be dishonored because he married me before to Romeo? Oh, I fear it is. And yet methinks it should not, for he hath still been tried a holy man. How if, when I am laid into the tomb, I should wake before the time that Romeo comes to redeem me? There's a fearful point. Shall I not then be stifled in the vault, to whose foul mouth no healthsome air breathes in, and there die strangled ere my Romeo comes? Or if I live, is it not fairy-like, the horrible conceit of death and night, together with the terror of the place, as in a vault, an ancient receptacle where for this many hundred years the bones of all my buried ancestors are packed, where bloody Tybalt, yet but green in earth, lies festering in his shroud, where, as they say, at some hours of the night spirits resort. Oh, alack, alack! Is it not like that I, so early waking, what with loathsome smells and shrieks like mandrakes torn out of the earth, that living mortals hearing them run mad? Oh, if I wake, shall I not be distraught, environed with all these hideous fears, and madly play with my forefather's joints, and pluck the mangled Tybalt from his shroud, and in this rage, with some great kinsman's bone, as with a club, dash out my desperate brains? Oh, look. Methinks I see my cousin's ghost seeking out Romeo that did spit his body upon a rapier's point. Stay, Tybalt, stay! Romeo. 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 Here's drink. I drink to thee.
Oh, take these keys and fetch more spices, nurse. They call for quinces and dates in the pastry.
Come, stir, stir, stir. The second cock hath crowed. The curfew bell hath rung. It's 3 o'clock. Look to the baked meats. Spare not for the cost.
Go, you cock queen, go. You'll be sick tomorrow for all of tonight's watching.
Nay,
Get you to bed.
not a whit. I have watched ere now all night for lesser cause and never been sick.
Aye, you have been a mouse hunt in your time, but now I watch you from such watching now.
A jealous hood. A jealous hood. Now, fellow, what's there?
Things for the cook, sir, but I know not what.
Make haste, make haste. Go, sirrah, fetch dryer logs. Call Peter, he will show thee where they are.
I have a head, sir, that will find out long. It will never trouble Peter for the matter.
Ha, mass and well said. A merry horse son, ha. Thou shalt be loggerhead. Good faith, 'tis day. The county will be here with music straight, for so he said he would. I hear him near. Wife,
What, ho, nurse, wife! Go waken Juliet. Go and trim her up. Make haste, I say. The bridegroom, he has come already. Make haste, I say.
Mistress! Mistress! Juliet! Ah. Still asleep? Fie, you slug above! Ah! What's this? Why love, I say? Why, madam? Sweetheart? Why, bride? What? Not a word? Oh, get your penny worth now. Sleep a week. For the next night, I warrant Paris will have had his rest to make sure you rest but little. God forgive me. Marry on then. Oh, how sound is she asleep? I needs must wake her. Madam. Madam! Madam! Well, let the county take you in your bed then. Oh, that should fright you up, will it not be? Oh, my goodness. Oh. What? Dressed and down again? I must needs wake her. Sweet, sweet lady. Lady. Alas! Alas! Help! Help! My lady's dead! Oh, where day I was ever born! Get me an aquavitae! Oh, my lord, my lady! Oh,
What noise is here?
oh, lamentable day!
What is the matter?
Look! Look! Oh,
Oh, me. Oh, me. My child. My only life. Revive. Look up, or I will die with thee. Help. Help. Call help.
Come, bring Juliet forth. For shame, her lord is come.
she's dead. She's deceased. Alack the day she's dead.
Alack the day. She's dead. She's dead. She's dead.
Let me see her. Alas, she's cold. Her blood is settled and her joints are stiff. Death lies on her like an untimely frost upon the sweetest flower of the field.
Oh, lamentable day. Oh, woeful time.
Death that has taken her hence and make me wail. Ties up my tongue and will not let me speak.
Come, is the lady ready to go to church?
Ready to go, but never to return. Son, the night before thy wedding day hath death lain with thy wife. There she lies, flower as she was, deflowered by him. Death is my son-in-law. Death is my heir. My daughter he hath wedded. I will die and leave him all. Life, living, all is death's.
Hath I longed to see this morning's face? But why does it give me such a sight as this?
Accursed, unhappy, wretched day, most miserable hour the time e'er saw. Oh, and lasting honor of this pilgrimage of one poor and loving child, one thing to rejoice and solace in, and cruel death had catched it from my sight.
Oh, woeful, woeful, woeful day, that e'er I should witness this day. Oh, lamentable, lamentable day. Ah, oh day, oh day, oh day, hateful day, woeful, woeful day.
Beguiled, divorced, wronged, slain.
Dressed, hated, martyred, killed. Uncomfortable time my camest thou now to murder our solemnity. Child, oh child, my soul and not my child, dead art thou. Alack, my child is dead, and with my child my joys are buried.
Peace, ho, for shame. Confusion's cure lies not in confusion. Though fond nature bid us all lament, nature's tears is heaven's merriment.
All things that we ordained in festival turn from their office to black funeral, our instruments to melancholy bells, our wedding cheer to a sad burial feast, our solemn hymns to sullen dirges change, our bridal flowers serve for a buried course, and all things change them to the contrary.
Go thee forth, Lord, and Madam go with, and County Paris too. All prepare to follow this fair course unto her tomb. The heavens do bend unto thee some ill. Tempt them no more by crossing their high will.
Faith, we may put up our pipes and
Ah, good gentlemen, put up. As well you know, this is a pitiful case.
aye, by my troth may this case be amended.
Oh.
Oh musicians, heartsease. Oh musicians, will be happy lives, play heartsease.
Why heart's ease?
Oh musicians, because my heart itself plays, my heart is blue. Will you play some merry dump?
Not a dump. 'Tis no time to play now. No.
But I will give you soundly.
What will you give us?
No money on my face but the deed. I will give you an minstrel.
And I will give you a disturbing creature.
Then I will lay a certain dagger on your face. I carry no cutlass. I feed you. I fall you.
You ray us, you fuzz, you note us.
Pray you, put up your dagger and put out your wits.
And I bat you with my whip. I will try beat you with an iron whip. And pull my iron dagger. Answer me like that. When gripping feet the heart down blue. The speedy hope the mind be pressed and music with the silver sound. Why silver sound? Why music with the silver sound? What say you, Rebecca?
Mary, sir, because silver had a sweet sound.
Pray. What say you? What say you, Simon?
I say silver sound, because musicians sound for silver. Faith, I know not what to say.
Oh, I cry you, Murphy. You want to sing. I would say music with the silver sound because musicians have no gold for sound. The music with the silver sound would speedy help the mighty tricks.
What a pestilent name is the same.
Hang him, Jack. Come all in here. Tarry for mourners, and stay dinner.
If I may trust the flattering truth of sleep, my dreams presage some joyful news at hand. My bosom's lord sits lightly in his throne, and all this day an unaccustomed spirit lifts me above the ground with cheerful thoughts. I dreamt my lady came and found me dead. Strange dream that gives dead man leave to think, and breathed such life with kisses in my lips that I revived and was an emperor. Ah me, how sweet is love itself possessed when but love's shadows are so rich in joy. News from Verona. How now, Balthazar? Dost thou not bring me letters from the friar? How doth my lady? Is my father well? How doth my Juliet? That I ask again, for nothing can be ill if she is well.
And she is well, and nothing can be ill, for her body sleeps in Capel's monument, and her mortal part with angels lie. I saw her laid low in her kindred's vault, and presently took post to tell it to you. Oh, pardon my services, sir?
Is it e'en so? Then I deny you, stars. Thou knowest my logic. Give me ink and paper, and hire me post horses. I will hence tonight.
I do beseech you, sir, have patience. Your looks are pale and wild, and do import some misadventure.
Thou art deceived. Go, and do the thing I bid thee do. Hast thou no letters to me from the friar?
No, my good lord.
No matter. Get thee gone, and hire those horses. I'll be with thee straight. Well, Juliet, I will lie with thee tonight. Let's seek for means. Mischief, thou art swift to enter into thoughts of desperate men. I do remember an apothecary. Hereabouts he dwells, which late I noted, tattered weeds with overwhelming brows, culling of symptoms. Meager were his looks, sharp misery had worn him to the bones, and in his needy shop a tortoise hung, an alligator stuffed, and other skins of ill-shaped fishes, and about his shelves a beggarly account of empty boxes, green earthen pots, bladders, musty seeds, remnants of pack thread, and old cakes of roses were thinly scattered to make up a show. Noting this penury, myself, I said, and if a man did need a poison now, whose sale is present death in Mantua, here lives a kite of wretch would sell it. Oh, this same thought did but forerun my need, and the same needy man must sell it me. As I remember, this should be the house. Being holiday, the beggar's shop is shut. What ho, apothecary!
Who calls so loud?
Come hither, man. Oh, see that thou art poor. Here is 40 ducats. Give me a dram of poison, such soon speeding gear as will disperse itself through all the veins, that the life-weary taker may fall dead, and that the trunk be discharged of breath as quickly and as violently as hasty powder fire doth hurry from the fatal cannon's womb.
Such mortal drugs I have, but Mantua's law is death to any that utters them.
Art thou so bare and full of wretchedness and fearest to die? Famine is in thy cheek, need and oppression starveth in thine eye. Contempt and beggary hang upon thy back. The world is not thy friend, nor the world's law. The world affords no law to make thee rich. And be not poor, but break it and take this.
My poverty, but not my will, consents.
I pay thy poverty and not thy will.
Put this in any liquid thing you will and drink it off. And if you have the strength of 20 men, it would dispatch you straight.
Here is thy gold. Worse poison to men's souls, doing more murder in this loathsome world than these poor compounds thou mayest not sell. I sell thee poison, thou hast sold me none. Farewell, buy food and get thyself in flesh. Come cordial, and not poison go with me. To Juliet's grave, where must I use thee?
Holy Franciscan friar, brother, oh,
Ah, if that same voice be that of Friar John. Welcome from Mantua. What news have thee? What saith Romeo? Or if his mind be writ, where's his letter?
going to find a barefoot brother out here in the city, visiting the sick to associate me, and finding him, the searchers of the town, suspecting that we both were in a house where the infectious pestilence just reigned, sealed up the doors and would not let us go forth. Thus my speed to Mantua there was stayed.
Well, who bore my letter to Romeo then?
I could not send it. Here it is again, nor get a messenger to deliver thee. So fearful were they of infection.
Oh, unhappy fortune. By my order, this letter was not nice, but full of deadly charge, and the neglecting of it may cause great danger. Friar John, go hence, fetch me an iron crow and bring it straight unto myself.
Brother, I bring it thee.
Oh, goodness. Now must I go to the monument alone. Within these 3 hours, the fair Juliet will awake. Oh, she will beshrew me much that Romeo has no notice of these accidents. I will send another letter to Mantua and inform Romeo. Oh, and he will come, Poor fair corse, locked in a dead man's tomb.
Give me thy torch, boy. Hence and stand aloof. Yet put it out, for I shall not be seen. Under yon yew tree lay thee there a while, holding thy ear close to the hallowed ground. So shall no foot upon the churchyard shall tread. Do as I bid thee and go.
I'm almost afraid to stand alone, but yet here in the churchyard I will adventure.
Flower with flowers thy bridal bed I strew. Lo, thy canopy is but dust and stone. With which sweet water nightly I will dew, which wanting that with tears distilled thy moans. The boy gives warning, someone doth approach. What treacherous foot wanders this way tonight? What? And with a torch? Night, hide me a while.
Hold. Take this letter. Early in the morning, see thou deliver it to my lord and father. Give me the life. Upon my life, I charge thee, whatever thou hearest or seest, stand all aloof and do not interrupt me in my course. Why I descend into this bed of death is partly to behold my lady's face, but chiefly to take this from her dead hand, a precious ring. The ring I must use in dear employment, and for hints, gone. But, if thou jealous, thou return to pride what I further shall intend to do. By heaven, I will tear thee joint by joint and strew this hungry churchyard with thy limbs. The time and my intents are savage wild, more fierce, more inexorable far. If the tigers of the roaring sea,
What will you no longer, sir?
shalt thou show me friendship. Think thou that. Live and be prosperous. Farewell, brother.
All the same, I'll hide me hereabout. This looks I fear, and I doubt.
Thou detestable maw, thou womb of death, gorge you with the dearest morsel of the earth. Thus I enforce thy rotten jaws to open, and in despite, cram thee with more food.
This is that banished haughty Montague who murdered my love's cousin, which with grief it is supposed that the fair creature died, who has come to do some villainous shame to the dead bodies. I will apprehend him. Stop, thou vile Montague! Can death be pursued further? Thou must die.
Indeed, I must, and therefore came I hither. Good youth, tempt not a desperate man. Fly hence and leave. Think upon these gone. Let them affright thee. I beseech thee, youth, put not another sin upon my head by urging me to fury. Be gone. I love thee better than I love myself, for I come hither, armed against myself.
I defy thy commendation and apprehend thee for a felon.
Wilt thou provoke me? Then have at thee, boy.
Oh Lord, they fire! Should go come watch.
Ah! Oh! Oh! I am slain! If thou art honorable,
Count Paris, Mercutio's kinsman. What said my man when my betossed soul did not attend him as we rode? I think he said Paris should have married Juliet. Said he not so? Or did I dream it so? Or am I mad, hearing him talk of Juliet, to think it was so? Give me thy hand. One rich with me in sour misfortune's book. I'll bury thee in a triumphant grave. Grave. No. A lantern. Slaughtered you. For here lies Juliet. And her beauty makes this vault a feasting presence full of light. Death, lie thou there, by a dead man interred. How oft, when men are at the point of death, have they been married, which their keepers call a lightning before death? How may I call this a lightning? My love, my wife. Suck the honey of thy breath, has had no power yet upon thy beauty. Thou art not conquered. Beauty's ensign yet is crimson in thy lips and in thy cheeks. Death's pale flag is not advanced there. Tybalt, liest thou there in thy bloody sheet? But what more favor can I do to thee than with that hand that cut thy youth in twain, to sunder his that was thine enemy? Forgive me, cousin. Juliet, why art thou yet so fair? Shall I believe that unsubstantial death is amorous, and that the lean abhorrent monster keeps thee here in dark to be his paramour? For fear of that, I still shall stay with thee, and never from this palace of dim night depart again. Here will I remain with worms that are thy chambermaids. Here will I set up my everlasting rest, and shake the yoke of inauspicious stars from this world-weary flesh. Eyes, look your last. Arms, take your last embrace. Lips, you. The doors of breath, sealed with a righteous kiss this dateless bargain to engrossing death. Come, bid your conduct. Come, unsavory guide. Now at once, run on the dashing rocks thy seasick, weary bark. Here's to my love. Oh, true apothecary, thy drugs are quick. Thus, with a kiss, I die.
Blessed St. Francis, how often I have my old feet stumbled in graves. Who's there?
There's one, and I'm afraid you know well.
Oh, bless you, my friend. Tell me, what light is yon that vainly lights the eyes of faceless skulls and grubs? If I discern right, it burns within the Capitol's monument.
It doth, holy sir, and there's my master, one that you love,
Who is it?
Romeo.
How long has he been there?
Full half an hour?
Come with me to the vault.
I dare not. My master knows not what I have gone hence, and did menace me with death if I stayed to look upon his intents.
Oh, stay. I go alone. Oh, I do fear some thrill and thrifty thing.
And as I did sleep upon this yew tree here, I dreamt that my master and another fought, and that my master slew him.
Romeo! Oh, what means this blood? blood that stains the stony entrance to the sepulchre? What means these discolored swords that lie masterless at its tomb? Romeo! Oh, pale. Oh, and Paris too. Oh, what unkind hour has caused this lamentable chance? The lady stirs.
Oh, comfortable friar. Where is my lord? I do remember well where I should be, and there I am. Where is my Romeo?
I hear some noise. Come away from this place of unnatural death. A power greater than we can contradict has thwarted our plans. Thy husband of thy bosom there lies dead. And Paris too. Come away, my lady. I will deposit thee with an order of holy nuns. I fear the city watch is coming. Stay no longer. Come, my lady. We must leave.
Go, get thee hence, for I will not away. What's here? A cup. Poison, I see, hath been my true love's end. Oh, churl, drunk all and left no friendly drop to help me after. I will kiss thy lips. Happily some poison doth yet hang on them to make me die with the restorative. My lips are warm. Hey, boy, which way? Any noise? Then I'll be brief. Oh, happy dagger. This is thy sheath. There rust and let me die.
This is the place of thou shalt burn.
The ground is bloody. Search about the churchyard, and whoever you find attached. It's full signs. Hylas, Countess slain. Juliet. Bleeding. Warm and newly killed. Who hath here lain 2 days buried. Go tell the prince. Raise up the Montagues and run to the Capulets. See the ground whereon these woes do lie, but the true ground of these piteous woes we cannot without circumstance describe.
He's Romeo's man. We found him in the churchyard.
He who takes to the fifth hither.
Here's the friar that cries and trembles. We found him in the churchyard.
He would say to the prince hither.
What misadventure is so early up that calls our prison from our morning rest?
What should it be that is so shrieked abroad?
All the people in the streets cry, Romeo, some Juliet, and some Paris, and all run with open outcry toward our monument.
Let's look how our daughter bleeds. For lo, this dagger hath the stake, and his house is empty on the back of Montague, is sheathed in our daughter's bosom.
Oh, the sight of death is a bell that warns my old age of a sepulchre.
Search, seek, and know how this foul murder comes.
Here we have slaughtered Romeo's man, and a friar, who tools fit upon him to open this dead man's tomb.
Alas, my lady, my wife is dead tonight. Grief of my exile, my son's exile, has stopped her breath. What further woe conspires against my aid? Romeo. Son. Romeo. What manner is in this press? Before thy father, you were great.
I am the least able to do the most in this lamentable hour. I stand before you by myself condemned and myself excused. That Romeo, there dead, was married to that Juliet, and she, there dead, was Romeo's faithful wife. I married them, and their stolen wedding day was Tybalt's doomsday, for whose untimely death the new-made bridegroom was banished from the city, for whom Juliet pined, and not for Tybalt. You, to save her from that siege of grief, betrothed that would have married her perforce to County Paris. So came she to me, and with desperate looks bid me devise some mean to rid her of the second marriage. So gave I, so tutored in my arts, to her a potion, a sleeping potion, which wrought unto her a form of death. Meantime, I writ to Romeo that he should come hence this dire night and help me free her from this borrowed grave. But he that bore my letter, Friar John, was stayed by accident and returned yesternight my letter to me. So came I tonight to free her from this borrowed grave with the intent to write Romeo and have him come hence. I would keep her conveniently in my cell until he could arrive. But when I arrived, untimely dead found I Paris and Romeo. So I bade the lady come forth from the tomb and accept this judgment of heaven with patience. But I was scared away by it, the watch coming, and she in her desperation did violence upon herself. All of this is true, and to the marriage the nurse is privy, and if aught of this is because of my misconduct, I submit my life unto the full punishment of the law an hour before its time.
Some known thee for a holy man, where's Romeo's man? What can you say to this?
I told Romeo news of Juliet's death, and he came in post from Mantua to the same place, the same monument. Early he bid me give this letter to his father, and threatened me with death, going in the vault, if I departed not and left him there.
Give me the letter, and I'll look onto it. Where's Romeo's? This letter doth make good friar's words. Where's the county's patience that raised the watches? Sirrah, what made you master of this place?
Well, he came and flowers to stroke his lady's grave, and bid me stand aloof, and so I did. And on comes to light up the tomb, and by and by my master drew on him, and then I made a way to call the watch.
This letter doth make good the friar's word. Their course love, the time to her death. He claims he did by a poison of a poor apothecary there with Tybalt. He writes that he did go to the vault to die in life with Juliet. Where be these enemies? Capulet, Montague. See when a scourge is upon your hate, that the heavens finds means to kill your joy with love. And I, for making out your discourse too, have lost a racing kinsman. All are punished.
Come, Brother Montague. Lend me thy hand. This is my daughter's jointure. No more can I demand.
I could give thee more, for I will raise her statue in pure gold, that while Verona by thy name is known, there shall be no figure set at such great as that of true and faithful Juliet.
As rich shall Romeo by his ladies lie, poor sacrifices of our enmity.
The gloomy peace this morning, with the greens, a song of sorrow, will not show his head. Go hence, have more talk of these sad things, for there never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet and for Romeo.
Thank you all for joining us at our last night here at Chandor. Big shout out to Chandor Gardens for letting us perform here. It was beautiful, don't you think?
Yes.
Come back again next year. Yeah. Come see us again. Here at Chandor. Sorry. But next week we are performing at Alito in the Park Friday and Saturday at 6, and then after that, you can't come see us again. So tell your friends, see us again. Share us on Facebook. Thanks so much. Y'all have a nice night.